Okay.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is IGTV. It's a production of New York City InfraGard, and we have on the phone with us RSA Security, their labs from over in Israel. All right. This is their fraud detection folks that are constantly working on different aspects of malware. And we've had some really insightful calls with them regarding a number of different things over there. But today we're going to be talking about downloader Trojans. So, Lamore, why don't you get into this a little bit? What is a downloader Trojan? What is it?
Okay, well, first let me take it back to what is a Trojan so we can really see that there are different types. A downloaded Trojan is basically it's a malware. It's a rogue software code that's designed to steal private information and data from a computer and send it to a remote server. This is what Trojans do. Now, we have all sorts of different Trojans. One of them is a downloader type, which is it's a harmless code, supposedly. It's not supposed to have any other activities on the computer, but it's designed to facilitate downloads from the web. This means that once you have that Trojan on your computer, it is able to download more malware and payloads into the infected PC. So why are we talking about downloaded Trojans today? It's because through the past few months, RSA's research lab has been seeing that a lot of these little Trojans are popping up and gaining a rapid momentum in the cybercrime arena. This means that we see them infecting a lot of bots within a rather short time. So although they're not very worrisome to RSA, because RSA deals with a lot more complex Trojans, and we deal with banking Trojans and those who really facilitate crime, these little ones are easier to get on a PC, and they can facilitate later on the download of very serious Trojan.
All right. So why don't you get into I can certainly understand that aspect of it, all right? Because, once they get onto the machines, they can do all sorts of nefarious things, right?
Yeah, once you're part of that botnet, the computer is part of the botnet, then the person controlling it can decide what goes on your computer. They can put anything on the computer at that point. This is why a downloader Trojan, although it looks very benign and nothing serious to consider, it can become dangerous because it can put anything on.
Yeah, no, that all makes perfect sense. And of course, as soon as you get any malware on your machine, whether it's a keylogger or a Trojan or a redirector or something like that, all sorts of wild things can happen. Why don't you get into a little bit on a very recent one, SecureSoft Stealer?
Yeah, SecureSoft Stealer is very recent. It's new. It's a Trojan that's not very sophisticated. It takes software keys. That's why it's called SecureSoft. For example, it steals your Windows CD key. So it means that other people can now use your license. And we know that now with Windows 7 it's a big issue, because if somebody's using your license, then once you get through to updating or trying to do other things, then apparently your Windows is compromised, or you're supposed to be, they could be thinking you're pirating the software, and that becomes a problem. And this little Trojan actually spreads via P2P, like peer-to-peer networks. It can hook itself onto legitimate programs, and then it goes through, if the user begins sharing files, it'll go to the computers where the file is shared.
So if I was sitting in Starbucks having a cup of coffee and I didn't have my machine properly protected, somebody could do a peer-to-peer hookup with my machine, and I could...
No, you have to start up the P2P client. You have to actually have a peer-to-peer client on your computer, meaning some sort of a sharing program. Once you start it, then the Trojan can attach itself to programs that are being shared. Like sometimes people, they'll put on P2P a certain folder, and the folder even contains software. It can contain all sort of stuff, and this Trojan will go through the peer-to-peer folders into other people's computers.
Yeah, I've seen that happen in a number of different ways, hooking up to different music programs. A lot of peer-to-peer sharing there.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a good one. Why don't we just take a short interval here, and we'll be right back with Lamore, and we'll go through one more piece, and we'll talk about the Dragon Info Stealer when we get back.